Dr. Maurice Pitesky, and welcome back to the Sitch, a bi-monthly show from the UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine Cooperative Extension. Today we're going to talk about the toxic element lead and the food safety risks associated with lead found in eggs from backyard chickens. So this is unfortunately, in my opinion, a topic we should probably be discussing a lot more, at least as much as when we're talking about diseases like salmonella, for example. One of the reasons we don't talk about it that much is that we simply don't know that much about the overall risk, aside from the fact that lead is not good for our health and we don't want it in our chickens' eggs. So unfortunately, chickens like humans don't typically show clinical signs when they're exposed to lead. So, for example, the eggs that have lead in them will not have stronger or weaker shells. The shells won't look different. And definitely the hens that have lead in them will not be into heavy metal or anything like that. So seriously, lead is considered a silent killer because especially at low doses, it's unlikely that you will notice any clinical signs, but over time it can cause developmental delays, sluggishness, and premature birth, among other problems. So first off, how does lead even get in chicken eggs? Remember, you are what you eat, and just like us, if our chickens ingest contaminants like lead, those contaminants can accumulate in different compartments in the chicken's body, such as bone, liver tissue, and unfortunately eggs. So while lead has been banned from paint and gasoline since the late 1970s in the US, homes painted before then used lead-based paints, which can chip, blow away, or even dissolve in water and then spread it further in the environment. So even if your home wasn't painted with lead, exposure is still possible. You're not off the hook, in other words. Lead is also present in crude oil, and while the lead has to be removed as part of the refining process, proximity to oil refineries has previously been identified as a risk factor for lead exposure. We recently did a citizen science study in California where 344 backyard owners sent us eggs from their backyard chickens, and we found that 8% of the backyards had lead in their eggs that exceeded the FDA's daily threshold for daily consumption for children, and about 1% had lead levels that exceeded the daily lead consumption for adults. So if you're concerned, I would recommend getting your backyard chicken eggs tested for lead. You can do that by reaching out to your state's animal diagnostic laboratory or a private animal diagnostic laboratory. Or you can also have your chickens, when they die, you can make sure during the necropsy that you ask to have the liver tested for lead presence, absence, and quantify it. What if they find lead? What can you do? So I would evaluate the area that they're raised in for potential sources. There are labs that will test for lead in soil, and based on the results, I would consider removing and replacing topsoil. Unfortunately, we don't know yet if by removing the source of the lead, if the eggs will eventually be free of lead or will reduce the concentrations of lead they have. That's ongoing research, and hopefully we'll have some research and some results in the next several months. In summary, lead can be found in our backyard chicken eggs, and if you are concerned, find a diagnostic lab that can test them. That's a reasonable thing to do. I hope this was helpful, and as always, if there are other topics you'd like addressed on the Sitch, please feel free to email me at drpuck@ucdavis.edu. Thanks.